You ever notice how, in the world of tech, some words just get thrown around and end up meaning totally different things depending on who you're talking to? Well, singularity is a perfect example. To an engineer, it means one thing. To a futurist, it's something else entirely. Today, we're going to unpack that double life. So, let's do a quick gut check. When you hear that word, singularity, what's the first image that pops into your head? Is it some world-altering, super-intelligent AI from a movie? Or is it something, well, a lot more practical? The answer really depends on where you're coming from. So let's break them both down, starting with the engineer's point of view.
All right, first up, the robot's locked joint. This is the practical, real-world, nuts and bolts definition. And spoiler alert, it has absolutely nothing to do with consciousness or the future of humanity. It's literally just about a robot getting physically stuck.
A robot's singularity is basically a glitch where mechanics meets math. It's what happens when a robot's arm contorts into such an awkward position that its own control equations, the very math that tells it how to move, just fail. Think of it as a physical error, a jam. It has zero to do with the robot's intelligence. Here's a way to feel it yourself. Try to bend your elbow backward or twist your wrist in a way it's just not built to go. You feel that point where you hit a hard limit, where you're just locked? That's kind of what happens to the robot. Its joints line up in just the wrong configuration, and the math controlling it basically crashes. The robot might just freeze up, or even worse, start moving in some really unpredictable ways.
So you can see why for a robotics engineer, this isn't some doomsday scenario. It's a bug, a really annoying one for sure. It's a very well-defined problem they have to solve with clever programming and path planning to keep their robots safe, efficient, and, not stuck.
Okay, so that's the practical side of things. Now, let's flip the coin and talk about the other singularity, the one that feels like it's straight out of science fiction. We're not talking about a locked joint anymore. We're talking about AI taking a giant leap into a completely unknown future.
This is the big one, the technological singularity. Now, let's be super clear. This is a speculative idea. It's a hypothetical moment in the future where an AI doesn't just get smarter than us. It gets so smart that it can start improving itself, kicking off a runaway chain reaction of technological growth that is way beyond our ability to comprehend, let alone control.
This idea was really brought into the mainstream by thinkers like Ray Kurzweil. The core concept is this exponential acceleration of technological progress. The point isn't just that AI gets smarter than humans, it's that the rate of change itself goes vertical. It becomes a feedback loop that creates a true technological explosion.
So, how would this theoretically play out? Well, the path is often laid out in 3 steps. First, an AI of some kind surpasses human-level intelligence. Then, and this is the really critical part, it starts improving itself, on its own. The result? A rapid, completely unforeseeable transformation of, well, everything.
And there it is. That's the huge difference, right? One is a solvable math problem in a physical machine. The other is a massive philosophical question about what happens when we're no longer the smartest kids on the block.
So let's put them side by side just to make this distinction totally crystal clear. Are we talking about a problem, or are we talking about a prediction?
The robot singularity, that lives firmly in the world of engineering. It's a mathematical instability, and it's a real-world problem that people are actively solving today. The technological singularity, on the other hand, belongs to the world of futurism. It's a philosophical tipping point, a purely hypothetical event that we can only speculate about.
So, to put it as simply as possible, it's one word, but 2 completely different worlds. One is all about the physical limitations of a machine. The other is about the future of intelligence itself. So why does any of this matter? I mean, who really cares? Well, it's about way more than just semantics. In technology, clear language is the key to clear thinking. And if we confuse these 2 ideas, we're going to get led down the wrong path.
Because one of these is just about the geometry of a machine.
And the other is about the future of humanity. The stakes, as you can probably guess, are just a little bit different. When you really get this distinction, you can have much smarter conversations about tech. You can finally separate the practical engineering challenges we face today from the huge speculative theories about our future. You begin to appreciate the massive difference in scale between the 2.
So here's the bottom line, the one thing to remember. The next time you hear someone use the word singularity, you can ask yourself, are we talking about a robot arm getting stuck? Or are we talking about the very fabric of human existence? Because they are fundamentally not the same thing.
And that leaves us with a final thought. One of these singularities is a bug to be fixed. The other might be a future that completely redefines what it means to be human. So as technology keeps accelerating, The real question is, which singularity are you watching?